ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। May we listen auspicious from our ears. May we see auspicious from our eyes. May our parts of body be strong. May our organs be stable. May we spend rest of our lives in pursuit of divinity. May there be peace in all the three worlds. Om.
Aditya, what are the three worlds?
The lower, the higher, the one we are in.
Within the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell.
Like hell also. Not hell. Lower means the people who are living with less opportunity than us. Higher means people who are living with more opportunity than us. Like higher is Switzerland from perspective of India. Lower is Sudan. There is a very popular sect of belief, very popular these days. Which says we have to go only by our experience in meditation. This is quite popular, like going only by your experience. And just few days back, one friend sent me one WhatsApp card, The problem with meditation is, like, the biggest problem with meditation is to know if one is going right.
Right. R-I-G-H-T.
Right. You see? So, if you trust your only experience, because there has been times where our day-to-day experience has betrayed us. So, logic and experience of somebody that we trust, it might be a scripture, it might be a guru or a teacher. So, keeping and your own experience, it's like not trusting your experience at all, but kind of checking it out. With experience of somebody else could be quite useful, helpful, fruitful. Like experience, your own logic, and experience of somebody else. If the three go together, then it's like, otherwise many people we find quite lost in the mind. Not here, like really quite lost in the mind. I have been blessed by maybe more than 100 people who think they are enlightened.
You're laughing.
Like they would just
You're laughing.
yeah, like coming and giving ashirwad. Like there were like a group of people, and everybody would get enlightened every third day in Puttaparthi. And I used to meditate just near where they used to meditate, somewhere outside. And one of them blessed me and gave me like some coupon for food. And every third day somebody would get enlightened, and instead of doing this, I said, okay, thank you. So experience of somebody else, what it says, swastham, shantam, sanirvanam, akathyam, sukhamuttamam, ajam, ajen, gyen, sarvagyam, parichakshate. Like he is saying, parichakshate, it is called by those who have experienced it as Guru of Shankaracharya is saying, it is called thus and thus by those who have experienced it. You see, he is not claiming ownership. It is called such and such. Kind of more humble. Swastham, healthy or established in itself, in its real healthy state. Shantam, peaceful, without vibration. sanirvanam, without any absence of torture, one thing. Another meaning is without repetitiveness. Nivritti, vritti is like repetitiveness. Nivritti is like without repetitiveness. Like those mental things that we have, the mentality which keeps repeating. Sanirvanam. Without patterns. Sukhamuttamam. The sukha, happiness of higher kind. Ajam ajayana jayena. The knower knows it by itself. Sarvagyam parichakshate. That is how it is called by those who have known it. This is the last thing, last sloka that we are doing. The concluding sloka. After this chapter completes, and it's like Sarvopi ayam manonigrahadi mridlohadivat srishti roop upasana chokta paramartha sarupen pratipatyu payatven na paramartha satyeti. I should think one should get an English translation of this. I will get you one. This is excellent. Like that's why I fell for these things so much. Like it's kind of, you simply fall in love. As we worship Lord God in a stone or in iron, but that is not actually God. He is giving the example. Similarly, all these upasana, mental methods that we have described thus, is a means for achieving ultimate. These methods are not ultimate.
Would you repeat please that last sentence?
These methods that we have described thus, he is saying, Srishti Upasana Chokta, that thus is described thus, are for Upasana, like for mental activities. All meditation and everything falls in the bracket of mental activity. Paramarth Swarup Pratipatyu Upayatven. These are means for achieving ultimate, not the ultimate. Why? Because these are means for reaching, and means is never the thing it is. So he is kind of saying not take it too seriously. It's like a boat which helps you get other side, but you don't have to carry the boat. So this subtlety, this preciseness of actually accepting the fact that we need mental tools and we have to drop them. both things. The preciseness that we need mental tools, upasana, mental activities. Even trying to not to do anything is mental activity. So this preciseness that we need it, and we have to drop it. It's like calling a thing what it is on its face. So in the beginning he said that those who are established in ultimate, they do not need anything. Then he's saying those who not, the middle and the lower kind, they need these things. And the concluding thing he's telling, these are the means to get the ultimate, not ultimate truth. These means are not the ultimate truth. Paramartha Satyam tu. So what is the ultimate truth? This is last. Na kaschit jayate jiva sambhavo asya na vidyate etat uttamam satyam yatra kinchan na jayate. No jiva. Jiva is like consciousness along with mental forms. Consciousness along with its mind is jiva, prani. So jiva has never born, and it cannot take birth. And this is the ultimate reality, that nothing has taken birth. In other words, has not moved from its own place. In theology, in Puranas, like minor scriptures, we have all this, God was there and then he created this universe, and from he created day and night, or he spoke and things were created. He's almost rejecting that itself. In our life, like in a smaller, consciousness is only there. The mind, which seems, just seems. I and my mind is not something like we feel that mind is separate from I, or if we go a little deeper, then mind is created from I. So he is outright rejecting this. That is the ultimate reality.
So the last phrase, rejecting not.
That I, mind is taking birth from I. Like in deep sleep, there is no mind. And you can actually witness the birth of mind. in the process of awaking, we daily experience the birth of mind with its older samskaras. It comes up. It is as if taking birth. In awake also, mind changes its forms along with its identity, taking new avatar. Call it moods. We have changing moods. The mind is having new avatar.
Having
Avatar. Avatar.
Avatar?
Like, avatar, yes. So this changing of mind or taking its birth from consciousness, let's not call it even I consciousness, simply consciousness, is not possible, has never happened. That is the ultimate reality.
So it appears to us that these thoughts or these moods just bubble up, and they're like separate bubbles. But
one trick I will add up. Whatever is ultimate reality, contemplating upon it is not ultimate, but it leads you to that. So when the moment we are saying this, we are not communicating ultimate reality with the mouth and with the brain. But contemplating upon it, it's like fake it to get it. Like contemplating upon it, this is the nature of mind. If you think about something, you kind of get close to it. And there is a jump, although you have to take the jump. But then you are ready to take the jump.
And all this not discounting the fact that it very much appears like, as I said, like bubbles. They very much appear like bubbles, and they arise and fall away. But you're saying none of this is actually the ultimate truth.
Even communicating it, even my saying that none of this is not ultimate is not ultimate. You see, it's a kind of thing that you have to perceive, like
it has to be experienced,
or deeper than experience.
Yeah, it has to be lived.
But when we say it, it's kind of, and when you put your mind upon it, it kind of takes you in a samadhi, which is called sabdanubiddha samadhi. The samadhi which occurs due to the words, pierced by words. Sabdanubiddha samadhi.
Like a strong, like mesmerized into it, over.
Mesmerized is poorer word. Sabdanubiddha, like the words, they carry you somehow.
So all our senses, the active questioning, the thoughts, take us to the closest bit of reality.
Sabdanubiddha.
But only
Like
when
not
all
closes, it's like not close, it takes you up to the veil.
up to the veil.
So you are seeing it from the veil, but at least you have some glimpses. The ultimate thing, something that click happens when veil is lifted. It's like when you are dreaming, and you are dreaming of something, and suddenly there are some dreams which makes you wake up. You see? There are some dreams which can make you wake up. So these all questioning, answering, everything, thinking, contemplating, meditating, are the kind of dreams that can make you wake up.
So we need to do all of these things to approach reality, or have at least a veiled view of reality.
Yeah.
But when we're meditating, we shouldn't be doing these things.
No, like meditate, there are two ways. Like meditation is kind of sleep. There is one where you try to sleep and you actually sleep. So when in term of ultimate reality or whatever is that, when you are actually sitting and doing some mental phenomena, it will lead you to meditation, and because it leads to meditation, it is also called meditation. Like you are lying down, you are not asleep, but what you call, I am sleeping. So the preparer, what you call, preparation for sleep is also called sleep. Similarly, preparation for meditation is also called meditation.
It's a very deep form of contemplation.
It could be deep form of contemplation, it could be very gross form of doing mala, japa. Even contemplating upon these things, if mind is quite enough, it leads you to somewhere. So kind of he is giving the whole map. No jiva, like this combination of mind consciousness, has taken birth because ultimately there is no doership, and no enjoyership.
No.
Enjoyership.
Enjoy.
Like with thoughts, we feel like emotionally charged and we feel good about it, bad about it. So we kind of enjoy it, like enjoying in both sense,
Okay.
getting engaged. So ultimately, you are not engaged with your thoughts or the world. Like
So that's just like the lesson we had in the first or the second day.
first day, it was like a trick.
Right.
This time, he's saying this is ultimate reality. And everything that is like ultimate, if contemplation upon it leads you to that.
So that's kind of a contradiction then.
Now, tricks has some shadow of reality. So before it was presented as if a shadow of reality. But shadow has to be the reality. There should be some reality that would give you, of which the shadow is.
So it's like the faith and doubt thing coming together too.
Like the trick, and he is saying his version of reality. And he is giving a methods to achieve it, cognitive method to achieve it. So it's not a matter of faith. If I say there is God, believe in it, it's just a matter of faith. But if I say there is God, and there is this method to see Him, actually talk with Him, it's not only I am asking you to faith.
But you have to have faith in something.
Yeah. For me,
I don't have a religion, so I never think of faith.
No, like faith is only, it's very painful when I ask you to believe and when you do not have anything to cross-check it. Then it's merely religious faith. But if I say something that food is ready,
Mhm.
and at 1 o'clock it will be served, and you have method to cross check it, then it is science.
Mhm.
That is what the difference between faith and science is. In science, you have freedom to cross check it. Freedom, method to cross check it.
But I also will have, every day we've had lunch at 1 o'clock, so even before I get there at 12:58, I've got pretty good faith that 1 o'clock lunch is ready. No, without science, without,
But first day when we said,
maybe not.
you see, there was faith that took you there.
Mhm. Mhm.
Any science, if there is some experiment going on, there is this faith. So faith is not something, without faith we cannot operate. There was a faith that there is going to be retreat.
Mhm. Mhm.
But if that means to cross-examine it is not there, then it becomes, that faith that you have to have, that sick faith.
What kind of faith?
Cross-check it, sick faith.
Sick faith.
Yeah. Call it blind faith or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay.
Otherwise, everything else is faith, like we have train in the station, is faith. But we have methods to check it. We are actually involved in certifying it, so it's not faith. Not sick faith. Without that faith, you cannot operate. You cannot walk.
Yeah. Okay.
No thesis can be established. The first thing is hypothesis. Food will be served at 1 o'clock. Somebody wrote it. That's hypothesis. If it is that you have to just believe in that without any method, whatever could be cross-checked is not sick faith. So he is saying, this is the ultimate and we have given you the methods. Don't take methods for the ultimate, but I am saying what I have to say. You have methods to cross-check it. Go on. You do not have to believe it or have faith in it, but he is stating what he feels true. And there is no reason that ultimate or the supreme or the pure consciousness would become a doer or enjoyer, because he is rejecting God and everything long back before.
Is he rejecting God or the popular understanding of God?
He is rejecting God.
Mm.
Popular understanding of God as doer, he has rejected it, because he is saying there is no doer. If I am not the doer, then there cannot be ultimate doer.
So there's just this
Existence, which has not changed its forms.
So is there a finite number of souls?
There's no difference between soul and not soul.
No.
Well,
Soul and not soul.
yeah.
That is what he is saying. There is no jiva.
So jiva, you said it's
Like
consciousness with mind.
Like personal identity. There is no personal identity.
Jiva is personal identity. Yeah. Or soul. So consciousness with mind, you said before.
Yeah, like a mind means
Okay,
identity.
mind, okay, consciousness. So there is this me, jiva.
So there is no jiva, there is no one born, and there could be no one born.
What's the difference between jiva and ego then?
Ego is that part
Yeah.
which makes consciousness jiva.
Okay. Okay.
Jiva is like ego and consciousness kind of thing, both together.
Ego and consciousness.
So he's telling there is no ego, there is no mind. kind of thing.
Mm.
What we call jiva, one example, popular example, which is not very apt, but to some extent, there is a pot, like earthen pot, you know,
And what pot?
earthen pot
Earthen pot, yeah, yeah.
in the water. So there is water inside the pot, water outside the pot. You break the pot. What will happen of the water?
Yeah, so.
So this, the thing that we consider as our identity, the pot is mind or ego,
Mm.
the personal identity.
Mm.
The moment ego is broken, where this consciousness? Because this is whole sea of consciousness. Like,
So then, in that analogy, that the pot is the ego, and then the water inside the pot is the jiva.
and water outside the pot is universe.
Oh, okay.
Is.
Universe.
So how does that explain us and our lives and all our ideas about ourselves?
What happens when you are in deep sleep? Where does those ideas go? पहले उपाय रूप बताए हुए सत्यों में से यही उत्तम सत्य है. Before we have explained the truth as means, but now we are stating the truth as the end. And the truth that we are stating now is the ultimate, and truth that we have explained before is the means. And the ultimate truth is, in this vast universe of consciousness, not even an atom is born.
What's born?
Nothing has been born as the size of an atom, anu matram. Nothing has been born. Everything is existing, just existing.
Everything is just existing.
I mean, then now the inevitable heretical question comes that this thinking has direct consequences as to how societies are organized, or how people treat each other, and how it expresses itself in various ways.
If all the people of the world get established in this thing, my perception is
Yeah.
that would be the best society, and people would be treating in the best way to each other.
Really?
What makes you think that?
Yeah.
Why do people mistreat? Let's go to the cows.
Yeah, because this is true. They put themselves
Why
first.
do people cheat? Why do people kill?
I'm not sure, but what I'm hearing when you describe that, it seems to me that is describing a world where individual action has no consequence.
Ultimately, it's not. That is what he's saying.
Yeah.
That I don't know, I thought our world was organized around the idea that consequences kept us in check.
And what if you feel that there is no consequence? What you would do? People who do bad things because they want a particular kind of consequence. Getting money, getting land, getting power. That is also consequence, not the unseen consequence. The seen consequences is also questionable. Once Swamiji was asked that when one gets to this knowledge that everything is illusion and everything is one, then he can speak lie.
You can speak.
Lie.
Uh-huh.
So then Swamiji asks whether the thing that he is speaking lie about, he is thinking as illusion or true.
It sounds to me like what's being described is anarchy.
Yes, yes.
And I don't know, last night I was listening to a psychologist who does behavioral economics, Daniel Kahneman. And he does say that it really takes us a lot to change. That to change people's minds.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, super hard.
This is even like millions in one people, they try to understand it, and millions in the people who are trying to understand it really get it.
Well, in that case, if it's so difficult to change people's minds, then maybe if we just, tomorrow everybody just found out, you know what, you can do what you want and there'll never be any consequences.
Yes.
A lot of people would...
No, what consequences? You are taking consequences in two parts.
Okay.
The unseen consequence and seen consequence. If there is no seen, like seen consequences means, even if I work hard, even if I cheat, there is no point in getting money.
Well, so you want to have a different experience.
You see? We want the consequences. What you are saying, no consequences, means the unseen consequence directed by God or by some law. That you do bad, you will get bad. I'm not talking about that consequence. I'm talking about the consequence that we feel that we do something and something will happen. I will cheat and I will get money.
So you could cheat and get nothing. Get just what you had before.
Like then there is, if there is no me, why I will be inspired to cheat? Like you have to really be there to understand it. Like be there, then it will like it's not partially accepting the.
Right.
It's not partial lack of consequence. It's ultimate lack of consequence. Of seen and unseen. The consequence that we exactly relate to. If you do bad, you will get bad. That is not exactly related. But if you take the bribe, you become rich. That is seen consequence.
So this is saying nothing will change.
Nothing has changed. In the bigger picture, nothing has changed.
You say if you do something bad, if you do something so-called good, helping someone, that has a consequence in this world.
Yeah, it has. It has.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fit into the theory.
No, actually, you have to be there to understand. Like when you ultimately, that's why it's not the moment you try to see outside, it will not work. Your own identity is not true. and tell me with that understanding how many crimes you are able to commit. And if you are unable, then everybody else will be unable.
That says to me that things are exactly as they are, the way they are now, because no difference can matter from that perspective. No? I'm not getting it.
Try to meditate according to the things that he has said. Like these things you cannot exactly understand in your mind. It's like,
So then it won't stop me from trying though. So there's no difference between, in his description, there's no difference between being corrupt and good-hearted. It's all the same.
Okay.
no,
No, that's not what
no, there is difference. A corrupt has a very deep sense of identity.
because there's no I, it's not worth
Let
talking.
corrupt contemplate on these things. See how he can continue to become correct. He cannot.
Oh, okay.
It's like, see, you are saying that corrupt will keep his identity, but he will not be afraid from God or the law of nature. I'm not saying that. He's not saying that. Let corrupt question his identity.
Oh. So the difference is that loving is already a redeemed state, so to speak.
Kind of. Like not in the loving of kind of Amritanandamayi Ma hugging, but loving in the sense of a different kind of love.
Wow.
Not loving with sugar.
No. No, I mean, no, that's one of the, let's say generosity, as opposed to bribes.
A good person is good maybe because like he has a good identity. A corrupt person has a corrupt identity, and we are cancelling the identity itself. That's what Nagarjuna has said. You do not put the finger. It's not partially accepting, like you do not accept the laws of karma. It's not that you are rejecting only laws of karma. But you accept your identity and you accept the benefits that corruption gives as true and law of karma as false. It's not that. When you are rejecting law of karma, you are rejecting your identity and the outside objects also. It's not partially and choiceful accepting like things that help you become corrupt, and you reject the things that help you not becoming corrupt. The consciousness itself exists.
It's like feeling something scary about something because people said that before. Of losing something, you know.
Well, I can certainly see why all the things we spend time on, all the things we do, is a complete waste of time.
Yes. But what else you will do? The man who discovered Raman Maharshi, the Sankaracharya of Kanchi Kampoti, he was the one who introduced Raman Maharshi to that man. What was his name? That Englishman.
Oh yeah,
Yes, well,
That's
yeah.
what.
Yeah.
So he was in himself.
the Major Chadwick.
Huh?
Major Chadwick. Is that him?
Someone like that.
Oh, yeah.
He has written a lot of books. He met Raman Maharshi. He was the one who introduced to Raman Maharshi. So he was himself a great, like in this century, he was greatest exponent of Advaita Vedanta. And he
Greatest exponent of?
Advaita Vedanta. So we consider him like more clearer than Raman Maharshi, because Raman Maharshi had to cater to a need of a particular people.
Yeah.
But these people, so he would do 6 hours of puja every day. Puja like this.
Puja.
6 hours every day.
Oh.
All those. So one of the journalists asked him, "You are a Brahmagyani, knower of ultimate." So, like he didn't say that. He said, "Should a Brahmagyani, like knower of ultimate, should do puja?" So he said, "What should he do then?"
No.
So we have to work with what we've got.
Huh?
We have to work with
No,
what we've
no,
got.
like what? If you say meditation is waste of time, what is use of time?
Watching self.
Pardon?
Watching self.
You see? At least it's most pleasurable thing. Samadhi, abhyas, to calming your mind and staying with that truth, nothing can be more pleasurable than that. So stay with it. Sometime go on yacht, sometime go around seeing the world. इति श्री गोविंद भगवत पूज्यपाद शिष्यस्य परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यस्य श्री शंकर भगवतः कृतो गौड़पादीय आगम शास्त्र भाष्य अद्वैताख्यम तृतीयम प्रकरणम समाप्तम। ओम तत्सत्। Thus ends the commentary of Shankaracharya, the disciple of Govind Bhagavad Padacharya, on the Gaurapad's couplet. Om Tatsat. Today is like kind of we close the class.
Can you repeat the name of that guy in South India who was training Aditya Vedanta?
Yeah.
I think it's the Jeff Goldman one, isn't it?
No, he was Shankaracharya of one of our feet. Like Shankaracharya are popes of Hinduism. So his name was, we call him Mahaswami, Kanchi Kampoti Mahaswami. He died like 94, in year 94.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Mm.
Lived 100-year life.
Any of his teaching has been
Yeah,
translated
in English, lot of.
Okay.
He had those one-liners, great one-liners. Like one of the person he asked, one of the Swami from here, that you see, in Upanishads every time it is said to know the Atman, to know the Atma. And we know that mind cannot know it. So what does it mean? So he would explain something like this, that if somebody asks you to cut a tree with axe, it is meant to cut the tree. But if somebody asks you to cut the iron with axe, what is meant is to break the axe itself. So mind cannot grasp it. So what is meant by knowing it, that just like annihilates the mind itself. So here those things will. Science-wise also, if you go backward, these rules of society, how many years? 10,000, 20,000, 1 million years, 1 billion years, not more than that.
Yeah.
1 billion year maybe,
Of
which is very short in infinity. 1 billion year is just a drop in infinity.
oh, okay.
I'm not very familiar with the Upanishads, but do they all, like, there's all different Upanishads, and do they all express, like, this is one
Mandukya. No, they have different approaches.
They all have different approaches, but that's it. It's like a way.
Or
They're
they
all
express it's the same.
is the same, but all like a
From a different,
from a different saint. Or,
some aeroplane, some bus, some,
Horse, some walking.
yeah.
and this.
some-
Yeah.
So same as yoga Vashisht, he does the same, yeah?
Is that a part of the Upanishads? Yoga Vashisht? No.
Like when people cannot directly catch Upanishad, then Yoga Vasishtha and Puranas, they were written to simplify.
Longer path than the Upanishad.
Okay.
When you cannot get a ticket to flight, then you go by train.
And that's Yoga Vashisht.
Yeah.
Etat uttamam satyam yat na kinchana jayate. No modification has happened ever.
And is there some purpose around that? Or is that just something that you would accept?
If there was a what's the purpose of universe?
I don't know.
So if there is no purpose of universe, I don't think there is a purpose of individual also.
Oh.
I thought the meaning of the universe is 42.
No, it was 21 actually.
Shit. So in that Kashmir place, where that Jesus was supposed to die, I think
one of I really like this, like, there's supposed to be a monastery, and there is like some inscription, and it says, "Life is a bridge, don't build on it."
Yeah. If there was a purpose of universe, let's find it, and then we can all ascribe our common, like I will contribute in that, you will contribute in that. So let's first, we are part of universe, so we can all go to fulfill the purpose of universe.
Yeah.
Why Big Bang happened? Let's go there. Not very back. Think big.
Maybe we're not so much preoccupied with why, but now that things are the way they are, how? Like how to live in the world well.
Yeah, those things we can talk, which is also important. He has said what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
I do not take his responsibility, I just translated.
Aditya, what confuses me is, why, knowing that, do I still want to fight?
That is the way thing it is.
So I have to just be very patient.
Yeah, mind wants to fight it, to feel it's alive, feel itself alive. But every day I think everybody doesn't fight for 1/4 of his life. Every day, like for 6 hours we don't fight.
Is the mind built to solve problems? Therefore, when it doesn't have any problems, it looks for
Yeah, it's kind of addicted to it.
Mm.
It keeps it alive.
Hmm?
It keeps it alive.
Ahankaram dhyam brute. Don't let this knowledge to get up. The ego says to mind, don't let this knowledge to bloom. The moment it has bloomed up, naham natam navai jagat. Neither I will remain, nor you will remain, nor the universe will remain.
Don't let this knowledge that you just
Yeah.
expounded
To bloom.
proliferate. Or,
Yeah, bloom, like proliferate.
Yeah.
That is what mind says to ego.
Yeah. It
No,
wants to
ego
make-
says to mind or whatever.
Ego says to mind to make things of it, to
Yeah,
embellish it.
Yeah, don't let this knowledge grow. Otherwise, this is like suicide bomb. It will kill us all and along with that whole universe. नासदीय सुक्त न सद आसीत न असद आसीत तदानीम को अद्धा वेद देवा न तो देवा. When there was not existence nor non-existence. Think of like before Big Bang. Just imagine. There was no existence and there was no non-existence. Who created this? Why? Who knows it? Maybe gods, maybe they also don't know it, because they were created after it. Rigved, Nashadiya Sutta. On roads there are autos and battery rickshaws going. Things are going by itself. We can make some, by looking at, we can make some observation that after every auto rickshaw, one battery rickshaw is going. So seeing the universe, we can make up things. After 3 auto rickshaw, one this is going. We see the things coming from egg. So we can make up the things that things have come up from egg. Scientists see the things, atoms coming from molecules. So they can make up that this has all come from one atom.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah,
is
it's
a
a
kind
pattern recognition, but you actually cannot say anything about it.
It's so much of human thinking is based. It's even considered a kind of intelligence. Pattern recognition.
For how long?
How long is it considered a kind?
Okay. For how long it will continue? Let's not discuss that. For how long it has existed? The so-called intelligence thing. So-called pattern recognition. 1 billion?
I think that you must have had to have pattern recognition in order to
Operate.
Yeah.
Nothing
plan.
bad about it.
Yeah. But it's probably during hunter-gatherer societies, pattern recognition.
Let's
was
go
important.
back.
Further back.
Further back. Before amoebas existed. Or before Earth existed. Okay, before Earth element existed. Like gas was only there, fire was only there. No solid.
I haven't thought about that far back.
Before Earth element, like solid, Mars, Jupiter, like Mars and this solid moon, before anything solid in the universe existed. We have science saying that it was all fire kind of thing or something, burning helium and hydrogen only. Oh, etaduttamam satyam yat kinchan na jayate.
What did you just say there?
This is the ultimate reality. I am quoting him. That nothing has existed. Nothing has born. Nothing takes birth. These systematic thinking, why I appreciate them more than, because these very easily they put your mind, you see,
Oh, yeah.
because lot you say mind doesn't exist, these are the newest things, they are not as helpful as these things.
So you see it as a tool.
Tool, of course tool, but tool is also meant to take you somewhere.
It has to be.
Everything is tool. Like communication is always tool. You see, there are signboards here and that way. So this is that way, pointers. But pointers do point to something, no? There is a bright moon. So at least the brightness is spoken. There is some brightness. No? That's why we say the bright moon is there. So pointers cannot be absolutely different than what is pointed to. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yes.